Okay, well, it is 1:30, so while I'm looking for that highlight sheet, I'm just gonna tell you guys that we have Rough and Redwine on the call. He is a representative from Reliance Standard. We had our long-term disability benefits through the Hartford, as some of you guys may know and be familiar with. If you have the Hartford now, we're gonna transfer you over to Reliance Standard. But maybe some of you guys have never signed up for long-term disability, so I'm gonna let Ruffin introduce himself further and go over those benefits. Take it
Awesome.
away.
Thanks so much, Julie. I really appreciate it. Like Julia said, my name is Ruffin Redwine. I work for Reliance Standard Life, and I've been with the company for quite a long time. Um, and I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of us. Probably not, because we don't do any advertising, right? Unlike, man, they've been flooding us with the Aflac commercials, right? With Nick Saban and Coach Prime, those commercials. But imagine how expensive those are. So we don't do any advertising at all because we can't sell to the general public. We're only an employee benefits firm, and we only go through licensed brokers. So although we're the number 7 largest insurance company in North America and the top 4 in the world because of our parent company, you may not have heard of us unless you're in the disability market in the group insurance world. And in that particular space, I believe, and the industry believes, we're pretty much the best in the business. So I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about the opportunity. I think disability is the most important insurance behind medical insurance. Everybody knows the story of the golden goose that lays the golden eggs, right? And we all insure the golden eggs, our homes, our cars. If you have a boat or a motorcycle or whatever it is, we certainly insure those. But ultimately, disability insurance is insuring that golden goose, right? Which makes all of that possible in maintaining an income. And I think we've all seen over the last 18 months, if nothing else, the craziness that can happen and the things that go. So it's really an important part of your financial plan. Really, your overall ability to support yourself is the most important thing that you can do after maintaining your health. So I'm looking forward to talking to you about this particular opportunity, because now is the time to take advantage of it. You have the opportunity now to buy long-term disability insurance, and the great thing about group insurance is there's no medical questions, right? There's no paramed exam, there's no blood work, any of that kind of question at all. So no matter what, you have the opportunity to sign up now. The product does have a pre-existing condition protection on it, in that the same concept as you can't buy hurricane insurance when the storm's already in Galveston, but other than whatever you have currently being treated for, anything that ever happens to you is covered. And even the condition that you have right now is covered in 12 months. So please don't think that, oh, I have high blood pressure. That's not what we're talking about with regard to pre-existing condition. We're talking about a condition that you're currently treated for that's acute, that would cause a disability. And so this is the time to really think about buying disability insurance, because like we agreed, it's the most important insurance that you can have out there. I'll tell you a little bit about the plan design, because it's awesome too. You get to buy 60% of your monthly income up to $7,500 a month. So the only people that are limited by the maximum that we offer is people that are making, over $200,000. So up to $200,000, you can insure your income at pennies on the dollar. I mean, literally, it's 1%. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the way the disability plan works is that you have to be disabled for 90 days, and then the disability payments start, right? Because it's long-term disability. So it's not designed to take care of the flu or an ankle sprain or something like that. It's designed as true financial protection. So it's really designed for those catastrophic instances where you're prevented from being at work for more than 90 days, but it pays through your normal Social Security retirement age, right? So we're talking about years and years of benefit at 60%. And keep in mind, this is a non-taxable benefit, right? Because you're paying for it, because it's voluntary long-term disability and you're paying the cost. The IRS says that the benefits that you receive will be non-taxable. So one thing to think about is that's probably pretty close to what our take-home pay is these days with the amount of taxes that we're paying. So please keep that in mind, that the awesomeness of the size of the benefit. It's essentially what you're taking home now through Social Security retirement age. And in fact, it pays a little bit longer because this particular program has a feature called extended disability, right? And we're all familiar with long-term care, right? We may be dealing with that with our parents or whatever the case may be. But this plan also has a feature that says at Social Security retirement, when you normally would retire, if you're still disabled under this particular plan and you would qualify for long-term care, this plan will pay an additional 5 years up to $5,000 a month for long-term care. So it really is an outstanding opportunity to plan for the future, hoping that something doesn't have to. As you can see on the screen that Julia's put up, it's super common though. 1 out of 3 are going to become disabled. Now I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you that it doesn't mean you have to be totally disabled either. This plan has partial disability and residual disability, meaning that you never have to be totally disabled. You just have to be prevented from doing one of the material duties of your job or prevented from doing the material duties of your job on a full-time basis. So in other words, you could have an injury or an illness that prevents you from coming to work 1 day a week, and you would still be qualifying for disability even though you're not totally disabled. Another key feature of this voluntary plan is that its ability to convert to individual, right? So if you were to leave employment and you've purchased this particular plan, you do have the opportunity to take it with you as an individual plan. So that's great in the event that in the future you were to become uninsured. Because if you don't take advantage of group insurance when there's no medical underwriting and there's no questions and no evidence of insurability required during this open enrollment, whether you get it on the individual market or even whether you try and sign up for this in the future, you will be considered a late entrant and you will have to provide evidence of insurability. Same concept about the hurricane, right? If you decline it now and then become diagnosed with something, at that point, unfortunately, it's too late. And so I urge you to consider this particular coverage now. It is available to everybody that's full-time. And those of you that are covered currently, we're just going to switch you right over to this particular plan so you don't have to do anything. Those of you that aren't covered, I urge you to consider this because it really is the most important insurance that you can buy outside of medical insurance. Does anybody have any questions? Can I help with anything?
I'm just going to pop in and say that if you guys are interested in signing up and you don't have long-term disability already, you'll just contact HR during open enrollment, which starts next week, and we'll get you what you need. We can also provide Ruffin's contact information in case you guys have personal questions that you don't want to answer, that you don't want to ask, in a group setting. I'm sure he would be available to you to help with running through scenarios and yeah, what was the rate again? It was
Yeah, Julie, it's super simple. It works out great. It's quite a bit less expensive than what you were paying before. So those people that have disability now will see a price decrease. Our price is 99 cents per $100 of coverage, right? So it essentially works out to 1%, right? 99 cents per $100 is the same, almost the same as one. So you can ballpark it. If you make $3,000 a month, 1% of that is $30. That's what it's going to cost. Essentially, it's 1% of your monthly salary is what the payroll deduction would be in simplest terms. It's actually slightly less than that, but that's a good ballpark at 99 cents per 100.
that's a great way to estimate it. Yeah, because I would always struggle with my calculator when it was $1.23 per
Yes, ma'am.
100.
Much simpler to do it this way. Absolutely. Much easier to see.
Okay, great.
And there were 2 questions in the chat. The first question, Ruffin, is what happens to rates when you move from group to individual coverage? So that's what you were talking about, that it's portable and they can take it if they leave. So that's the question for that.
That's right. They could go up or they could go down depending on your rate and what options you choose. Because at that point, you do have the choice to amend your coverage, right? You don't have to pay you don't have to get 60%. You could get 30%, 40%, 50%, or whatever the case may be. So at that time, we would what you would do would be contact us, and we would give you cost and options depending on kind of what you were thinking, exactly if you wanted to convert it to exactly what you had, or if you wanted to make any changes on it. But it would be, that's a good question. It would be individually priced at that point in 5-year age bands.
Got it. That's good. And then the other question might be more for us. It was, is there a new pay scale chart available for us to compare? Did I miss it in the emails? And I think when we were initially talking about, we are talking about age bands. So I think this might have something to do with that. And so I'm just going to say, Shamira, that it used to be $1.23 per $100, and now it's 99 cents. And that's for everybody, regardless of age. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but let me know. Because there's not really a scale.
Right.
So just like shoot an answer, or let me know if we need to like go into that a little bit further. And we did just get another question. So 60% of pay before all deductions, benefits, taxes, etc. Also need to keep paying the premium while getting the benefit. And those are all questions. So it looks like the 60% of pay is based on
Gross.
right,
That would
of
be
your
gross salary.
gross. So before all the deductions and everything is made.
That's correct.
And then for paying the premium while getting benefits, I
No, ma'am.
believe
Once
it
you're on
stops.
benefit premiums waived, that'd be kind of dumb for us to send you X and you have to send us back 1/100th of X or whatever it is. So that once you become disabled, it's premium waiver going forward. That's right.
Right. So, but those were the 3 questions that we had. Anybody else have any other questions? So the big thing to know is that previously we had only had it open to new employees once they started, but the way that we're doing this now is that we won't have this open at every open enrollment, meaning if you don't do it this time, it doesn't mean you can do it next year. We will try to have more of a cadence where we will probably open it up maybe every 3 years. We haven't really determined it yet, that cycle. But if you do miss out on it right now, you will not be able to get it next year, or more than likely the year after that. So at least a 3-year is what I think we've talked about, correct? So this is something that we want to make sure that you have this. The open enrollment period is the only time you can make this election for probably the next 3 years. I feel like I'm saying the same thing in different
Yes.
ways.
And
So.
I think Ruffin said this, but and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no questions about medical history or anything like
That's right.
that to sign up.
No questions, no paramed, no blood work, no medical exam, nothing. But like Rachel said, this is the opportunity because it does close after that, right? That's the concept of insurance, right? Is you get to make a choice when the storm's not already in Galveston, if that makes sense.
Exactly. And this, we do not open up this benefit if you have a qualifying life event, correct? I want to make sure that that's also stated. So we're only doing them at open enrollment times, and they're designated open enrollments unless you're a new hire. And then you'll have that initial period to make that election.
Yeah. I tell people that exact same thing, Rachel, all the time. It's super easy to sign up right now. And if you decide in the months coming that the $20 or $18 is a hardship, it's easy to terminate. It is not easy to get it once the window closes. So if you're even on the fence, sign up for it now. And I promise you, you'll be glad that you did at some point, because we all know somebody who has had something happened to them that prevents them from working, and it is tragic.
That's absolutely right. And I do just want to say, again, kind of reiterate that you can cancel at any time. We're not going to make you cancel only during open enrollment. So you can only sign up during open enrollment, but you can cancel if you need to at any point.
Any other questions?
Well, excellent. Well, let me know how I can help. I'm around. Julie and Rachel have my contact information. I really appreciate your time today. I hope you'll give it strong consideration. We all know the environment that we live and work in, and let's take care of ourselves, because I'm just not sure that Social Security is going to do it for us.